So I play Dr. Adrisa Tanaka, who's the medical examiner on the show. And what I love about her is that she is so passionate and dedicated, and she loves her job. She loves going to crime scenes, and nothing makes her happier than figuring out the puzzle of what happened and almost telling the story of the last moments of this person's life. It's very precious to her, and so I find that part of it fascinating. And then the other side is that she's so awkward. Yeah. I mean, she's she's head over heels for Tom Payne's character, who's the lead in the show, and she puts her foot in her mouth all the time, which is a lovely a thing to have to recover from constantly. Well, you know what was so fun is that when we were shooting the pilot, and for the first few episodes, we had a medical examiner from New York who came to the show and kind of would talk. Actually, I remember the outfit that I had originally was sort of more fitted, as like a television medical examiner. And he looked at me and was like, And we changed it so that I have just plain green scrubs and a more, just a plain white lab coat, because he was like, you look a little bit like a receptionist. And I was like, oh, we don't want that. Let's. So that and many other things, he kind of helped us through. Well, it was interesting because this is a character thing more, but the way that he cared about what he did and the way he was fascinated about solving a puzzle. He actually said that, which was something that I took on, of that it's curiosity. That you don't think about that in medical exam. You think, I don't know, for some reason sometimes people think cold or analytical, but it's just this hunger, this curiosity to know, to understand where that line is almost between life and death. And he said something about, you almost feel every time that you're going through this that you might just solve the unknowable thing. Like you might stumble upon some secret as you're doing your job. And that was fascinating to me. And then what other? Oh, and he told us never to use plastic. Well, there's a lot coming up in Death's Door that is happening tonight, where Adrisa gets to sort of explain, she's forced to, because of circumstances, explain why she does the things that she does and thinks the way that she thinks. So I loved doing that, because I think when push comes to shove and you have to justify yourself, some amazing truths will kind of spill out, things that maybe you didn't even know about yourself. And she's kind of put in that situation, which was lovely. And Adam Kane, who was our director, helped us to let it be unselfconscious. And then one that I'm really looking forward to is something we're going to film tomorrow. Is probably one of my favorite scenes that I've read, that is with my character and Bright. And it's the first time we probably have had a scene that's just the two of us. And I'm very much looking forward to doing that tomorrow. Oh, sure. So we are going to find out more about the girl in the box. So if you've been watching Prodigal Son, this is a big character, and through some hallucinations, because Martin is in a very precarious place right now, on death's door, that's the title, we find out a lot more about her. And so that's a big part of the episode. And my character gets to go out and be an expert in a different way, because she's out in the field. We're going to a convention for funeral directors. So she's like a kid in a candy store, and she just tries to insert herself and be part of the team. I think there's something about Adrisa that just wants to be one of the guys and be comfortable. So there's a lot of fun things that happen from that desire to fit in. Well, we're so lucky. There is a little bit of a difficulty of us not breaking, because there is humor in this show, and there are a lot of moments where another character will say something funny, and we say we'll have to bite the inside of our cheek, or sometimes we'll lose a take because it just hits your funny bone. And I think also because we're open to each other and we care about each other, it's easier to fall into that. So that definitely happens. And then last night we were all celebrating a birthday party of 3 birthday parties, and we're singing karaoke and had some drinks. And I just remember thinking how lucky I am that I'm part of this group of people that really care about each other and enjoy each other and enjoy what we're making. You know, I always, this is a long time ago now, but I always think back to when we were shooting the pilot. We were in Canada, and Alexis and I, the very first walk and talk that we did, because Gilmore Girls is kind of famous for that, where it's a one-er shot and we just talk and speak very quickly. But, you know, we're new to the show. The show was new, so we didn't even understand what that was. And the fact that they were like, "Oh, that's great. That was great. That was great. Could we do it a little faster?" and it just became a part of the show, of this like quippy, like we didn't even understand what that was, but that kind of rhythm, and thinking about how we learned that. And the fact that that particular scene that we started with, we had to shoot that 3 times because they recast the Dean character 3 times. Jared Padalecki was the 3rd Dean that ended up being in that show. So I always think back to what a strange world this is.